Squad Pod. Squad Pod.
Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring you our thoughts on the latest games and news around the sports world. We're brought to you by the Journey with the Jays Network, but as of February 2nd, a little bit after this video comes out, they are changing the name to Sideline Sports Network.
Yep.
And their podcast, Journey with the Jays, will also be Sideline Sports Podcast. So, I mean, that's pretty exciting. So we'll be brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network.
Look for
Going
that name
forward.
in the future going forward.
Exactly. We'll have a new logo and everything. It's going to look sweet. But we have a huge show for you today. We're going to break down the conference championship games that were wild.
Big games.
The big game that's coming in 2 weeks here, the Super Bowl, which we have an announcement about the Super Bowl as well. We'll talk about. And some other news within the NFL is going on, like coaching hires and some quarterback news. And then NBA and NHL news, along with the bias bubble and this crazy sports fact of the podcast. So, I mean,
Pretty
we'll just
packed podcast. But
yeah, we got a lot of stuff to cover here.
somehow I feel like it's going to be less than normal just because of the amount of football games we have to cover here. But,
Yeah,
we got two pretty much. Let's roll into it.
yeah, and then a little bit of the Super Bowl. But yeah, the first one was the Buccaneers and the Packers, which wasn't the game I expected it to be there for a while.
It was a good game, to be honest.
It was a good game.
Like, I loved it. I was watching it, and I texting you guys the whole time. I'm like, don't doubt Tom Brady. Don't doubt Tom Brady.
And you were right.
Look what happened. And look,
You were right.
just to throw this out here, I respect you wearing the Kobe jersey today. I threw on the Gronk jersey. This is what I pulled out of the closet today, okay?
I didn't know if you were going to wear that
figured-
one or the Tom Brady jersey that you had too.
That's next week.
Oh, that's
Okay.
the Super Bowl week.
I got to represent my Patriots in the Super Bowl here, okay? And I'm
definitely.
not about to go buy a Bucks jersey. Are you kidding me? So
I was already
This is-
knew you were going to pick the Buccaneers going into the Super Bowl.
this is, spoiler alert, this is the first time I'm even wearing this jersey since I think he retired, maybe. Like, it's
Man.
been a while. It's been a while because
I
I've
was
been
going to say, I haven't seen you in it in quite a while.
This Gronk jersey's been in the closet for a minute, okay? Tom Brady jersey's been in the closet since he left. I haven't worn that one since either, but I'm going to pull it out for the Super Bowl, represent, wish my boy good luck.
You're
Hope he
going to
gets
end up
7.
wearing it once a year now because he's just going to keep going to the damn Super Bowl.
I'm going to end up having to get a Bucks
A
jersey
Bucks
or wherever the
jersey.
hell. Like, damn, Tom, I said 3 years ago I wasn't going to do this, and now you're still in the Super. Like,
You're like 48
This is
and
kinda
you
off
got like 3
topic.
more Super Bowls.
I saw this about him since he's been punished for Deflategate. He's been to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls. Just since
You
he's
think
been
that's
punished
like
for
a chip on his
Deflategate.
shoulder? He's just
like,
been thinking about it
Roger
like every
Goodell.
morning. He like wakes up and he's like, he hears something about it or he sees something. He's like, wait a minute,
He's
yeah.
like, deflating balls, huh? Like, I bet you somebody tags him in something every day on Twitter or mentions like a Deflategate something.
Maybe
every
it's like a
single day.
background on his phone, like something that
He's
about
just
it.
like-
And he just every time he opens, he's like, mm-hmm.
He's Michael Jordan. He's like, I took that personally.
Every
You know
time
what
he
I
has
mean?
to see Goodell, he's just like gives him like doesn't really talk, gives him the silent treatment.
Oh, hi, Goodell. Hi, Roger.
Hi,
That's what he's
Roger.
like. Hi, Roger. How are you doing? But we got way off topic there. But Tom Brady's performance in this game was wishy-washy, to
Yes.
say the least. He
To say
seemed
the
very Jameis Winston-y, to be honest.
yeah,
You know,
putting up
very-
stats, but he's also throwing picks.
So it makes you wonder, like, could Jameis Winston have gotten this team right here? No, I doubt
No,
it, to be
I
honest.
don't.
Like,
I don't think he would have
Tom-
11 wins.
no. This is just Tom Brady being Tom Brady, having
Yeah.
first year in the NFC and now having the same amount of championship wins as all these other quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy to me.
And another
It's just
thing is
wild.
like not even just Tom Brady, but like that defensive line, man, like
Mhm.
that is just wreaking havoc
monsters.
on the Packers the whole time. Like Aaron Rodgers he just kept
That
getting hit.
defense in general.
Well, yeah, the defense in
they're
general,
on
they were ball
takeaways.
hawking.
I think they're +8 on takeaways this season so
Yeah.
far.
Aaron
Even
Jones
with
had
Tom
a
Brady
fumble.
throwing the ball. throwing the ball away as much as he does with the turnovers, like the interceptions, they're still +8. Like, man, like
Yeah.
I just love how they were 7-5 a couple weeks ago, and it was like, oh, the Bucks, they weren't, maybe they'll squeak into the play, and now, boom,
They
they're in the
came out
Super
of the
Bowl.
bye week and they just like tore it up after that.
3 straight road wins in the playoffs to make it to the Super Bowl, led by Tom Brady. It's just crazy to me. Even without AB last week, they still put up 31 points. Remember that stat I gave you about all the teams that put up 30 points in the year so far?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the 2 teams that won, put up 30 points. Just say.
Makes sense.
But anyway, on the flip side of this, the Packers.
The Packers, they had a 3-and-out to start, and then they went and scored a touchdown, and then they were just like, they weren't able to get anything done for a while. I mean, there was a fumble that Aaron Jones had. On top of everything, there was a interception that possibly maybe shouldn't have been an interception, or maybe should have been a flag. That was one of the numerous things that there's some controversy about. Like, they were letting them play most of the game, and then when it comes down to it, then they decide to like start giving some calls.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, the score is what it is. But the Packers, they kind of found somewhat of a rhythm in the second half to kind of come back a little bit, but LaFleur had a very, very questionable decision on this in this game, man.
Field goal.
Yeah.
Why?
Why in the world would you kick that field
goal? You're already saying like, probably not gonna win this game. Like, that's what it says to me. Like, go for it. You
have Aaron Rodgers.
I feel like, go for
and
it,
like
man.
Green Bay had one of the top red zone offenses. Like,
go for
it at that point. Like, go for it. Like, come on, man. And I mean, even I think it was the play before it where Rodgers like threw it. He could have ran it right in, man. And I mean, even Devontae, he had it would have been a touchdown grab. He dropped it at one point, but it just didn't work out for the Packers, man.
2 straight seasons, 13-13 NFC Championship game loss. And now Aaron Rodgers
in 2 different ways too. Like last year, they got ran over. This year,
he's
Tom
like,
Brady was slinging.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be in. He's like, I don't know what the future holds. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if they let him go, they're dumb. They deserve all of the turmoil that they get in the future if they let Aaron Rodgers go. Yeah. But if Aaron Rodgers leaves,
I don't know. I don't see him going anywhere.
Go.
But I did see something today.
Tom Brady going anywhere either, did you?
That's true.
You didn't see Michael Jordan going anywhere either, did you? You know what I mean?
He didn't go anywhere. I don't know what you talk about.
Yeah, right.
He didn't go anywhere. I don't know what you talk about.
You mean he did that's the man.
He retired.
You got me thinking about crazy shit. Like,
but yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, he had 280 yards. He was slinging it. He did have some turnovers, but man, they were able to get it done. The Packers
got the win,
and plus that defense, man. Tampa Bay's defense was no joke. That's going to be something to look for in the Super Bowl. But yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers, he ended up with 340 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers had a great game himself.
He did,
it just may not have looked like it, like from what you've seen. You know, I mean, there was a lot of mistakes in there. But yeah, man, that's what it is. I mean, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Gronkaneers going to a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Not surprising.
It's not surprising. It's Tom Brady.
Should have seen this coming. And he recreated that video with Gronk. Like,
where they were walking.
2 years ago when I saw that original video, I was like so happy. I'm like, yes. So now I watch that video and I'm just like spiteful. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Even though I'm wearing the jersey, I'm like, should be. I can't take any credit in the Super Bowl. This is not my team. These are former players. I'm just happy for them now. I'm not happy for my team. It's just like, oh my God, it's so bittersweet. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't want to see anybody else win the Super Bowl, but if it's got to be anybody, might as well be Brady.
Absolutely. I totally agree, man.
That's how I feel.
But the next, but I think you took the Buccaneers in that one. I took the Packers because I was rolling with the Packers in the playoffs. But the next one here, it was flip flopped. The Chiefs and the Bills here. You took the
Yep.
Bills rolling into this game.
We were both 1-1 this week.
Yep,
As
I
far as
took them
records
Chiefs.
goes.
And man, them Chiefs just they're scary, man. They're scary.
They are.
They
They're
just
the
proved it.
next dynasty.
Yeah, they just
You
proved
know?
it. I mean, I'm like, we'll get in the Super Bowl a little bit, but I'm super excited for this Super Bowl.
Me too.
But the Bills, they just came out and they didn't look good. They just looked very like lifeless the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, Josh Allen was on the run.
They tried. They came out the gate 9-0, but like
Yep.
just couldn't sustain that the whole time. Next thing you know, it's 14 by the Chiefs. I think they put up. I just know it was so fast. Before you knew it, the Chiefs were in control of the game.
Chiefs were just scoring on every
catch-up.
possession. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, that like Tyreek Hill is just a cheat code now.
Yeah.
Because
172, bro. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
and like that one play, like where he literally like cut across like the whole field.
That was
Like,
crazy, and he had to like go off for a play.
It looked like something you would see in Madden.
Right.
But yeah,
Just
Pat Mahomes. Oh, go ahead,
A
man.
Pat Mahomes stat there.
Yeah.
This man, in the last 26 games as a starter, 25-1. It's wild. It's wild to me. Like, this is the next Tom Brady. We're watching it. This is a passing of the torch type of Super Bowl right here. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Comes down to, it's to me, this is like Kobe versus Michael Jordan. You know, like, this is crazy. It just, I can't believe it's even happening. Like, it's just wild to me. I'm still in shock. We're a couple of days past learning who's going, and I'm still just like, we're actually gonna be able to witness this. You know, I hope it's as good as it could be, more or less. I don't get ahead of myself, but like, Pat Mahomes 25-1 as a starter in the last 26 games. It's just going to his second Super Bowl in the last 3 years. You know, in his first 3 years as a starter, 2 Super Bowls already. It's just wild. What's the ceiling here?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here's another crazy stat that just like yours, I fucking lost it. Where is that? Patrick Mahomes will play in 2 Super Bowls before ever losing an NFL game by more than 1 possession.
Yeah, that's wild.
The last time he lost by more than 1
wild.
possession was in November of 2016 against Iowa State.
Yeah,
And,
when
like,
it was at Texas Tech.
Like, dude, this kid, all he does is a win. That's all he does.
Hey,
like, he makes crazy throws. He's not even 100% right now, and he's out here slinging it and like throwing darts while falling and shit, like
hobbling around,
and then he's gonna go do it at the Super Bowl. You know, like nothing happened.
It's just wild. I respect it, and it's such a passing of the torch moment here. I just think it's really cool that he's starting his own legacy right in front of our eyes. More, it's just like these generational players, like LeBron, like Tom Brady, like stuff like that.
Who'd have
like,
thought we would be seeing like the next Tom Brady this soon? You know,
this
like
soon,
usually it'd be like 20 years or something like that, or 10 years or something like that. But it's literally passing the torch, because I mean Brady's not even out yet. But
if he beats Brady in this Super Bowl, then I don't even know where they're going to consider, because Brady will then be 6-4 in Super Bowls all time, which is crazy. It's not as good as 7-3. 7-3 is not too bad. You know, 6-4, you're like, oh man. I mean, I know you made it 10 times, but I know you won 6. But like, just like at that point, it doesn't look like. It looks like you get there a lot, but you don't always. I don't know. That's just getting ahead of shit there. But like, Pat Mahomes is 1-0. He's 1-0 so far in the Super Bowl. You know, so.
Yeah, and I mean, and they're beating teams like pretty handedly this year. Last year, pretty much all their dubs came from behind in the playoffs. Like, they were losing, and then they came from behind and just crushed it. But like,
they're just
it
more
seems
familiar.
like this year, they're just like rolling right now. And man, it just seems like there's not going to be any stop to it anytime soon. Like throughout the next couple of years.
Exactly. Even if they lose the Super Bowl, they'll be back again next year. They'll be fine. They'll run it back.
Exactly.
Andy Reid is up there with top 3 coaches of all time. You know what I mean? Maybe not of all time, but he's building his legacy, man. He is building his legacy.
For
I
sure.
respect the shit out of Andy Reid.
For sure. The Bills, Josh Allen only had 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Pat Mahomes had 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen was the leading rusher with 88 yards. Cole Beasley had 88 yards as well, receiving. But Diggs was pretty much silent. They shut him down for most of that game.
Yeah, that was good scheming defenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was great defense because Diggs is a firecracker. He's part of the reason that team was so hot this year.
Yeah, getting 100 yards every game, plus a touchdown or 2.
Hearing about him and Josh Allen meeting, like playing video games before the season started together, type of thing. Like that's the thing you love to hear, and so it was easy to see why he was so connected on the field. You know, so like this performance here in the championship game, I think it's not something that it's a anomaly. You know, I don't see this happening again. I mean, everybody has bad games. You know, I've seen Diggs tear up my defense twice. You know, like it's just I don't think it was anything other than good scheming on the defensive side, and like maybe he had a bad day, but he'll be back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think they're gonna run it. That's exactly what I was gonna say next. Is he was on the field watching the Chiefs celebrate. And you could tell by the picture, you know, he's going to be ready to come back next year with them Bills.
He's so motivated.
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
So, I mean, like, look what they did this year. And they're just going to, like, they were great last year. They were decent. So, I mean, they're just going to keep building off. So, next year, maybe we see them in the Super Bowl.
As long as they can take another step forward. Exactly.
Yeah. They're just going to have to build to beat the Chiefs. To get there.
What if that's the rivalry we have over the next 5 to 10 years? Chiefs Bills. Like
Chiefs.
Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. We got Pat Mahomes and Josh
and Tom Brady. every other year, every year.
What if Josh Allen ends up being like the second best quarterback behind Pat Mahomes over the next like 20 years? Like, wouldn't that be some shit?
That would be
who would have guessed it?
Like Lamar Jackson. What? Josh Allen's just like breaking records right under Pat Mahomes.
Russell
Wilson.
I'm
gonna get you, Pat.
Yeah. Shit,
I'm gonna catch you, Pat.
Yo, I would love to see Josh Allen have a crazy hella like Hall of Fame career, man.
Right.
And that's me as a Patriots fan saying that. Like I don't know why I like Josh Allen so much. Like,
and he just seems like a cool fucking guy too. Like even after the loss, he was going and hugging all of his teammates and stuff. Like he was being a leader. He was he was there for everybody. Like that's what you see, man. Like that's really cool.
Be successful.
Exactly. And
lose to the Patriots twice a year, but be successful elsewhere. You know?
That's what I was gonna say. Is like I have no stock in that division or anything. So like I like Josh, but like for you to say it is a whole nother thing as a Pats fan.
That's telling you something.
That's telling you how special he is.
Bills Mafia as a whole has like gained my respect. You know what I'm saying?
Like build it up within a couple years, man.
Exactly. Like the way they donate after certain things happen, like it's just wild. Like when Andy Dalton did like beat that, I think it was the Ravens, so they ended up making the playoffs or some weird, like they started donating to Andy Dalton's charity, like thank you, you know.
And then like the Lamar Jacksons.
Yep. Just stuff like that, like, and then just seeing the wildness that they do, the videos they post, how much fun they're having.
These wild Bills fans hopping through tables would be the most generous fan base in the NFL.
I know, it's awesome. It's so awesome, and I just love it.
Like, you want to hop
well
through this
done,
table?
Bills Mafia. They said there was a ton of people at the airport when they showed up, greeting the team. You know,
like that.
Well
that's
done,
how you
Bills
know
Mafia.
too. They're there, like you fucking boys did it. Like don't hang your heads. You guys were there, man.
I respect them.
But yeah, man, that leads us to the big game, Super Bowl. You know, we got
The
Tom
Brady Invitational.
Pat Mahomes in Tampa Bay, the first team to host a Super Bowl in their home stadium. Like,
It's pretty crazy.
what's going on here? They're gonna have the pirate ship and everything there.
Oh yeah, it's home field advantage,
Home
baby.
field advantage. They need to take that pirate ship out.
No, it's 100% home field advantage. Yo,
I
I have
swear-
a crazy stat to
ahead,
share
man.
with you about the Super Bowl here, okay?
Yeah.
It's specifically a Brady stat,
Oh.
okay? Tom Brady, Thomas Edward Brady, okay, has played in 18.2% of all Super Bowls.
18.2.
Tom Brady has played in he's going to be suiting up for 18.2%, 10 out of the 55.
That's insane, dude.
Like this one dude, you're telling me, and I have another one, okay? If you
Belichick's just like-
exclude, no, Belichick's
Yeah,
chilling.
Tom.
He went to 9.
he probably
Belichick
already
went to
called
9
him.
of these. He's like, good job, Tom.
Good job, Tom.
I
knew you could do
respect it. I knew you could do it. And he's like,
I-
shut the fuck up, Bill. You didn't think I
Click.
could do it? Just like Bill throwing that phone at the, you know.
I
what I'm-
told you, Bill.
But anyway, excluding. Let me start with this. If you include his season, 47.6% of the time he makes it, okay, to the Super Bowl. 47,
Dang.
I mean, 47.6, which is already higher than Stephen Curry's 3-point percent, okay,
Yeah.
which is another wild stat. If you take out of his year where he tore his ACL in the first game of the season, it's 52.6%. So, like, it's just like, it's better than, you know what I mean? It's better than
Yeah.
a 50-50 chance that this man's going to the Super Bowl every year. And it's just, when he retires, that's when you guys will be done with him. But he's still not done, apparently. You thought
Listen,
just because
I'm
he left
all
New
on the
England,
Tom
he'd be
Brady
done.
chain right now. He's in Tampa
Oh,
doing
now.
his thing. You know,
Now
I
you
like
guys
I
love
like
Tom
Tampa
Brady.
Tom. I've said it the whole season. I like Tampa Tom.
Tampa Tom's a little bit darker. He's got that nice tan.
He's
You
a
know,
little more
he's just-
relaxed. He's not like he doesn't seem like a douche whenever I see him now. He seems like he's all happy go lucky. He seems cool and relaxed. I'm like, hey, all right, Tom. All right.
Tampa Tom.
This is
Now
the
everybody
Tom.
loves Tom Brady.
Speaking of Tom Brady, Tom now has the same amount of NFC titles as Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers and Brees have been in the NFC for a combined of 31 years, and Tom Brady has been there for 1. Brady also has more playoff wins versus NFC teams, 9, than Brees has, 8, and
know.
Russell Wilson has 8.
I saw that stat as well, bro. Like, I saw that he has the most wins against NFC teams in the playoffs, and if you count the other 3 Super Bowls,
Bro.
like,
Bro,
I mean,
this
the other
dude,
6
like,
Super Bowls.
literally, he's starting to turn into like Jerry Rice or Wilt Chamberlain, where every single stat you see on Tom Brady, it's amazing. It's astounding.
I have some more for you.
Yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
some
man.
more for you. This is the records he leads in, okay, in the Super Bowl. He leads the Super Bowl pass attempts
Yeah.
at 392. He leads Super Bowl completions at 256. He leads Super Bowl yards at 2,838. He has almost 3,000 yards in just the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
18 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. They're all records for the most in every single one of them. And it's just, it's another one. Sorry, I forgot about this other one. 4 MVPs. It's
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, he's not only building and adding onto his legacy, he's separating himself from the rest of the pack.
Oh yeah, at this point, yeah, that's all it's doing. Is
I remember-
nobody's gonna catch him at this point. It seems.
No, I remember having conversations with you and Alex back when he was going to, like, when he won his 4th Super Bowl. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's better than Joe Montana now. He's got as many as like, oh, he's
Yeah.
got." Then he won his 5th one, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's cemented his status as the GOAT. He's the GOAT." And then he won the 6th one, and now he's about to win. Like, it's like you said, he's just separating himself. It's just wild.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
He's like,
I
Pat
totally agree.
Mahomes isn't going to catch me. Pat Mahomes ain't going to catch me.
I do have another super crazy Tom Brady stat, but I was going to save it for the end of the podcast for the crazy sports
Okay.
stat of the podcast.
Okay.
But here's on the flip side, Patrick Mahomes, speaking of his stacked resume already,
Already.
Super Bowl
in 3
champ,
years.
Super Bowl MVP, 2 AFC titles, MVP award, 3-time Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro, 50 touchdowns in one season.
Already.
First QB with 3 10-point comebacks and 1 postseason. And he also has the biggest contract in NFL history.
$500 million.
And he's only 25. This kid is living the dream. He's the best at football. Like him and Tom Brady are the best at football right now. Literally.
I hope that we do Squad Pod Sports for the next 15 years. Every week, once a week for the next 15 years. And I hope we are still talking about Pat Mahomes in 15 years the way we're talking about Brady now. That's where
he's going to be on to his 6th or 7th Super Bowl.
Pat Mahomes playing at his 6th. Like, he's still not going to be anywhere near Brady.
20 years is going to be like, oh, if he's coming up on one of Brady's records or whatever.
Oh my God, Drew Brees. Let's give Drew Brees some credit. I know we talked about him last week, but he's got some untouchable records too. None of them,
that's true,
like Super Bowl records, but he's definitely got some untouchable records too.
I think one of his offhand. I was going to say he has multiple 5,000-yard seasons that nobody's ever had.
But it should be a great game. We have a week until like next week, like we were saying. We'll definitely dive a little bit more deep into that. We were just kind of throwing out some basic stats here.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, we're going to announce we got a big announcement. We got a Super Bowl live show that we're going to do. Squad Pod Sports, brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network. Speaking of the new name. But yeah, pretty much you can just watch the game with us. Pretty much, we'll be commentating on the whole game as it goes through, and we'll have some guests hop in and out. So that'd be kind of cool as well. Get some perspective, and we'll just talk about the game and everything. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, man. Should be really fun.
Figure out how I'm gonna have that set up and everything, because I'm gonna have Kai that day as well. Yeah. So like he might be like, you know what I mean, popping his head
hey
in.
Man, it is what it is. everybody's welcome. It's gonna be a good time, man. I'm excited for it.
I can't wait. It should be fun.
I know like Alex is gonna join. Pretty much everybody that's on the Squad Pod podcast. Go check that out.
My dad, get him to call in, get his insight. Now we're gonna have a couple people from Sideline Sports. So
exactly,
should be fun. Should be cool.
Should be very fun.
That's probably about all the football we got for this week, though.
I actually do have some other actual NFL news. Not regarding Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes.
What?
I know. It's crazy. There's other news. Steelers promoted their QB coach Matt Canada to offensive coordinator. That's some news.
Because they canned the other one.
They canned the other one. Big Ben said, "Get out of here!
Like, get this fool out of here! I'm making the plays in the huddle. I'm the one that got us this far. I'm sorry."
Oh no, you good? The Lions are expected to add former Chiefs and Browns GM John Dorsey as their senior personnel executive, and he was just spent the last year with the Eagles as pretty much an advisor for the Eagles, which I've only heard about a couple times throughout the season. I don't know how much say he really had in there.
I've definitely heard that name, but I don't know. I haven't heard too much about what he's had his hands in. But I've heard that name before.
The Lions also hired Anthony Lynn, who was the head coach for the Chargers, as their next offensive coordinator. Yep. Yep. Anthony Lynn is the next
PC principal.
With PC principal. I think they
nice.
I forget what they call him. It's like MCDC or whatever. Dan Campbell, but it's like Motor City Dan Campbell is MCDC.
MCDC. I like it.
And let me see. Bears interviewed Hall of Fame linebacker Mike Singletary for their defensive coordinator opening that they have.
He's getting up there in age, though.
Yeah, that's true. And another Lions hire, they took my boy Deuce Staley.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
They hired him as the assistant head coach, which he was to Doug, as well as running back. Hey, man, I don't blame him.
You think it's because they never gave him that shot?
I think so, man. I think so. He asked for his release, and they granted it to him.
That's crazy.
He's been there for so many years, and I mean, he has been promoted throughout.
Yeah,
but I think he really wanted that head coach job, and I just don't think they really thought he was the best fit for it. And I mean, I'm glad they at least let him go and seek other opportunities that he wanted. You know, because he did have a contract.
spend the season or two in Detroit, prove everybody, hey, look,
Yeah.
like watch them end up having a nice offense or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but like I think he just like Eric Bieniemy, they deserve chances somewhere. We got to see him
Yeah.
somewhere. See what they can do.
So yeah, I mean, I think Detroit actually has a pretty decent coaching staff as of
Yeah.
right now. Kind of eager to see what goes on there. And speaking of Detroit, they have agreed with Matt Stafford to work out a trade to get him out of Detroit. Matt Stafford and Detroit are parting ways.
Yes, they are.
Very, very interesting story. We'll see where that goes. There is a list of teams here that Dan Orlovsky, shout out to him, he tweeted that could possibly be in the mix to trade with the Lions. Carolina, possibly the Panthers trade for him. Denver, San Fran, the Washington football team, Chicago, Indy, the Jets, and Pittsburgh. Possibly in the mix for Matt Stafford. He
I
didn't
could
say New
see-
England, but I think New England.
I don't think so. I think Matt Stafford is a slight upgrade on Cam Newton
Ooh, you think?
with worse running capabilities.
I
He's got
agree
a
with
better.
that, yeah.
He's got a much better arm, but he's not as good in as far as being a mobile quarterback. So it's like, what has he
Yeah.
done since 2011? He had 5,000 yards and 41 touchdowns in 2011. That was his best season. He hasn't done shit since. The more and more I look into this Matt Stafford situation, the more and more I'm like, let's go to the draft. I
Yeah.
don't want to go after
You're
a free
actually
agent.
going in depth in with it. Because I remember before that you were on the Matt Stafford in New England train. But now you're looking into it a little bit deeper, and now you're not about.
I wrote it down because I wanted to address that because I did speak about that before about potentially like that'd be awesome. But like more and more I look into it, I'm just like, will that really be the answer for us? Are we? Is that our missing piece? No, I think our missing piece is some offensive weapons as far as wide receivers go, and a real quarterback. Whether it's going to be a mobile quarterback or not, we need to get somebody that we can mold and keep for the future. I don't want to roll with a 3-4 year quarterback. I don't want to be one of them teams.
Yeah, that makes
We'll
sense.
see what-
You want an
see what
actual
happens.
franchise quarterback you could have,
Right.
like you can build off of. And I mean, speaking of QBs, I have a whole list here whose futures are currently in question as of right now. So I'm
Which
kind of
any one of these might end up on the Patriots. We'll see, but I would
exactly.
rather us go through
It's
the
a
draft.
whole list of them.
Mm.
Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson. You don't want Deshaun Watson?
No. I want both of them. I'm just
Oh.
thinking person like.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah.
Yes. Give me yes, please. Either
Matt
one
Stafford,
of them.
Matt Stafford, of course. Dak Prescott. Sam Darnold.
What? He's gonna be franchise tagged again.
We'll see. Apparently, I forget who it was. I think it was Matt Stafford. I saw a rumor about the Cowboys could be interested in Matt Stafford, but you know what rumors are. But anyway, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, because we've talked about that last week a little bit. The Rams maybe not sold on Jared Goff fully. Jimmy Garoppolo, we've talked about before. Cam Newton, we know he was we knew he was going to be moving. Teddy Bridgewater, Mitchell Trubisky, who the Bears haven't really confirmed that he was going to be around next year.
Wow, this list is a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah, Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Alex Smith, and the last one is Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh my God, that's all like potential moving.
Potential moving, or like some of them, like Roethlisberger, probably I would see retirement more than going to another team. I would assume.
Right.
But it's pretty much just some QBs whose futures are in question. Not just necessarily moving.
Not free agents, not anything like that. Just
exactly
what's going to happen here.
What's going to happen. And I mean, it's a lot. Yeah. Like I was surprised looking at it. I was like, damn, that's a lot of like big name QBs.
Notice how Brady's name isn't on that list.
Well, yeah, he's at a Super Bowl. Man.
I mean, they're not even like, oh, he's going to retire soon. No.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy that nobody assumes Tom Brady's retired after this Super Bowl. Everybody's like, yeah, he's probably going to be, he'll be back next year.
He'll be chilling.
That's wild though, man. That's so many
Right.
quarterbacks.
It
Makes
is.
you wonder, like, this offseason, man, it's gonna be I feel like the landscape of the league is gonna look so much different.
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of that as well, the Texans are the only team without a head coach as of right now.
Still,
And yeah, and to put some perspective on it, they got rid of the head coach, old Billy O'Stooge, Bill O'Brien, in the middle of the season, and they are they're the last ones without a head coach. Like, that's not good. That is not good at all.
nobody wants that job.
Nobody wants that job. The Jets got Robert Saleh. The Jaguars got Urban Meyer, which we actually haven't really touched on really in the podcast so far. So maybe we should talk about that maybe next week a little bit.
Yeah.
The Falcons got Arthur Smith. The Chargers got Brandon Staley. The Lions got Dan Campbell. And the one I haven't really got to talk about, old Nick Sirianni, the next head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, the Philadelphia Colts, because literally everybody they're hiring is from the Indianapolis Colts. The Eagles also hired their defensive coordinator, who is Jonathan Gannon, who was the DB coach for the Colts. He's their defensive coordinator.
You're doing what the Dolphins did to us.
Yeah. He worked with Sirianni the last 3 years. He helped produce 4 top 10 pass defenses in 7 years and has scout experience. So that's always good for a defense. And we also hired the Colts assistant coach, Kevin Patullo, as the pass game coordinator. Un-Colts related, Eagles are expected to add Auburn's defensive line Trace Rocker as their DL coach. He's been coaching since 1994. That's another notable hire. But pretty much the Eagles have a whole new front office as of right now, other than Howie Roseman.
Trying to make a change, trying to see where the future takes you guys.
I mean, it was really weird seeing, because yesterday, he finally got to NovaCare Complex in Philly, and you got to see pictures of the new coach in his office and stuff. And it's so weird. It's such a weird thing, weird feeling to see a new coach on your team. And trust me, I thought about it today. I know you'll know it eventually. You just wait.
Yeah.
Wait until it's gonna be exciting.
I don't know.
Who's the Pats gonna hire?
Team without, you got to realize, I just went through my first season in my life without my quarterback. Other than when he gets hurt or suspended, it was the first season in my life I went through a full season without my quarterback. How many quarterbacks have you seen starters for the Eagles over the last? Too many. It's gonna be weird to see the coach leave, just as weird as it was to see the quarterback leave. It's just at the end of the day, it's about the organization. Patriots fan. But to me, the Patriots mean Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Yeah. But what's it gonna mean after that? What's the next direction? I mean, who knows when we'll get to see that? It doesn't look like Belichick's stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, we talked about that last week about who he's trying to catch as far as wins and everything, even if he even cares about that.
Yeah. But I mean, that's all the football news I have as of right now. We're gonna save some stuff here for the next week. It'll be Super Bowl week. We'll have a lot to talk about. We'll kind of break down the game a lot more.
Super Bowl prep week.
Exactly. So we've kind of hop right into some NBA talk. I do have some news as far as NBA, because a lot of rumors going around. Trades are starting to, people are evaluating the players on the teams, are looking what might fit and whatnot. So there's
already
a lot of rumors.
Quarter of the way through the season.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Things are moving fast right now.
Yeah, so I did find the top trade news for a couple players on here. The Pelicans are open to trading Alonzo Ball and JJ Redick as of right now. Yep.
Very interesting.
It's very interesting.
Some veteran players possibly on the move.
Yeah. The Knicks
think they fit in.
Man, JJ.
He's a great role player.
Yeah, I can see him go into a somewhat of a contender. I think that would just need some depth. Like
a Milwaukee or something.
Yeah, something like that. Lonzo, I don't know, man. I don't see him really going to any contenders. Yeah. I don't know what his future is. But I think JJ Redick won't have a problem finding another like a team that'll add him for depth. Because I mean, he's still decent. He's still got some use. He's a great
Right.
role player, like you were saying.
Okay.
But yeah, Lonzo, I don't know. It's very
Lonzo
questionable.
fit in a lot of spots. It's just like he's still a developing player at this point. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're getting a vet. You know, you're getting a vet. You know, he's been around the league a couple years, but you still got to work on him. I feel.
Yeah,
He's all right.
exactly.
He's not bad. He's just not what everybody thought.
Maybe like see him going to like, I don't know, like a team like the Magic maybe, since they
Yeah.
lost like Fultz. Maybe put
Yeah.
Ball in there possibly.
True.
But yeah, I can picture JJ on a lot more teams than I can on like Lonzo, because like you were saying, he's still developing each year.
Right.
The next one here is a veteran. The Knicks and the Clippers are among teams interested in getting Derrick Rose from
The Knicks and
Pistons.
who?
The Knicks and the Clippers.
Oh man, I hope the Clippers don't get him. No. The Clippers
I was
are
kind of
hot
hoping
right
he
now.
would come back and bring a veteran presence to Chicago, but it doesn't look like it. But I mean, the Knicks, they're not like, surprisingly, they haven't been a bad team this year.
They've been
but the
great
Clippers,
so far. Their
I think
defense has been pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, the Clippers, if they get Derrick Rose, that's some decent depth. Because I mean, Derrick Rose, he's been decent the past couple years. He's been balling.
Absolutely.
I mean, the
Absolutely.
Pistons aren't great, but Derrick Rose he's been balling, man.
That's why they're probably trying to like get some value for him at this point. You know, see what they can
Yeah,
get.
get it while it's high. Get him while stock's high.
That's
The next one
interesting.
here. Yeah, I mean, at least we had some teams that were actually looking at him in that one. It wasn't just trade speculation. The Warriors and the Pelicans have discussed a potential trade about Kelly Oubre. The Warriors are possibly getting
They're
rid of
trying
Kelly
to
Oubre.
ship him out. They're like, you missing too many shots. Get out of
So
here.
the Pelicans makes you think maybe JJ, maybe Lonzo in there. I don't know. I can't see the Warriors possibly wanting Lonzo, maybe JJ for the shooting, but
Adding for some more depth there.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Probably
I was-
wouldn't be too bad.
Like
coming
Kelly
off the bench.
Oubre, I thought he was all right. I didn't think he was too bad. I mean, the Warriors been winning some
He's
games.
been missing a lot of shots. I saw some stat at the beginning of the season, and I'm sure it's changed by now. But at the beginning of the season, there was like they were shooting, I think, 29th or 28th in the league for like 3-point percentage. And if you would have taken him off the team, they would have been like 4th. Like I don't quote me on those numbers, but it was something like that. Yeah, it was that bad. But I
Oh
don't.
my
It's
God.
that was 2 weeks ago by this point, so it's been a minute. It was very early in the
crazy.
season. He just started off really bad as far as
Oh
the
my
shooting
gosh.
percentage. Yeah.
But that's pretty much all the trade news that I have. That's what I've seen as of today. Like speculation, I'm sure it's going to ramp up here the next couple weeks.
Right.
But I mean, as of like the conferences right now, Philly now is in the number 1 spot in the East. They're 12-6.
Is Philly the team to beat in the East right now?
It's looking
Even
like it.
though Embiid's kind of hobbled.
Yeah. Apparently with their starting 5 fully healthy, they're undefeated this season. I mean, without Embiid, I think they have a pretty bad record. But from what I've seen, if their starting 5 is healthy, they're undefeated this season so far. I think they got like
He's
6 or 6-0
averaging-
with the full lineup.
He's averaging 28 damn near. It's like 27.7.
And Embiid's
And-
having a hell of a year.
like 12 rebounds. Like he's looking out for that MVP. He's like, I'm gonna end up getting that MVP if Giannis don't. You think they're really gonna give it to Giannis 3 years in a row?
I
Probably
doubt it.
Not.
I doubt
Not
it.
even unless he's leaps and bounds better than everybody else. But if it's close, I think they give it to somebody else just out of like, man, we can't give it to Giannis every year. Like, but them Sixers have been pleasantly surprised, like pleasantly,
Yeah,
or
I'm sure your
surprisingly
dad's
good.
happy. I'm sure your dad's
Yeah.
happy about that.
Very happy.
He had his Raiders that crushed him. Now the Sixers are going to give him hope and
They'll
crush
crush
him.
them in a couple weeks.
And crush them. And then you got Boston, who's at the number 2 seed in the East. They're 10-6. They're 2 games behind. So I mean, Philly, they're starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee's also there with 10, and the Pacers are there with 10. Brooklyn, steady climbing. They're 11-8 right now after
Yeah.
some 2 bad losses to the Cavaliers of all teams.
Yeah, but they're steady. They're figuring out who they are. I'm looking at them like I'm looking at
They just
like
got
a first
Kyrie
year
back in the
Miami.
lineup.
Right. They'll be all right.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, who knows? They could be looking unstoppable by the time
Yeah.
like playoffs roll around.
Come
You
playoff
know?
time, they're gonna be crazy.
Yeah. And then you got Atlanta, Cleveland at the 7th seed, and then the Knicks at the 8th seed. So I mean, that's
We'll
a
see
whole
if they can
different bottom
sustain that.
couple seeds than like what it was looking last year. Because I mean, the Heat and the Raptors aren't even in the top 8. So that's
The Heat are they're on my not list this week. My not list. The Heat are on
oh
my not
man,
list.
yeah, they're
On a
6-10 right
3-game
now.
losing streak right now, man.
Wolf,
Not looking good for them.
what
But
happened, man?
Jimmy's missing time right now. I think
Dude, the COVID.
Goran is. Nah, I'm not sure. They're just not. They're not at full strength right now.
Okay.
But
But yeah, they're Toronto.
it's-
They're 7-10. The Bulls are 7-10. We're right there with Toronto.
Bulls
but I
are on my not list too. They're on a
Yeah,
2-game losing streak.
yeah, they're on a 2-game losing streak after a 3-game winning streak. They go on a 2-game losing streak. Granted, it was against the Lakers and the Celtics, which the Celtics was a lot closer than that Lakers game because we got blown out in that Lakers game.
Right.
Which, after the first game against y'all, I was like, oh, we were close to that one. Maybe we'll give a good game the second time. Nope. LeBron came out and balled.
LeBron
Anthony
doing
Davis
LeBron
balled.
things. They're coasting through this first part of the season.
Exactly. I mean, them and Utah have the best records in the league right now.
Utah is on an
Lakers.
8-game winning streak.
Yeah, Lakers are 14-4, and the Jazz are 12-4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Lakers are still undefeated on the road.
Oh my gosh.
10-0.
Yeah, I see that 10-0. Yeah, and they're 4-4 at home.
Mm-hmm. Weird, but
that is weird. But it's surprising to see Utah right there, 12-4. You know.
yeah, man, they're doing nice. I think they keep it up. Donovan Mitchell, he's tired of Shaq talking shit on him.
I was gonna say he got a chip on his shoulder. Shaq talking that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the video. I'm sure everybody saw that video. Of Shaq saying that shit. He's okay. Whatever, man.
All right. We'll see.
And you know they got Rudy Gobert there too.
Right.
But I mean the Clippers aren't far behind. They're 13-5. So I mean
Right.
they're right there with. So I mean
They're on a
7-game
7-game winning streak.
Oh man. So I mean that's a team like the Clippers. For some reason, I feel like the Clippers have been silent this season. Like they've been decent, but I haven't really been hearing much about them so far. I've been
Maybe
seeing like
that's
the
not a good thing
Lakers,
for
the Sixers. I've even been seeing the Jazz a lot more than the Clippers.
Yeah. People's expectations have been tempered on them, so they're just like, we'll see.
They wanted to be somewhat quiet for now. Keep the eyes on them. But then you got Denver, Portland, who are 9-7. They're still above 500, even without CJ McCollum right now.
Right.
You know, Dame's been balling like usual. You know, even more so. And then you got Memphis, Phoenix, and then Golden State at number 8. They're 9-8. So pretty much everybody in the top 8 seed have a positive record. You can't say that about the East.
Yeah.
You can't
East
say
is
that.
trash, like
yeah,
normal.
The East is like the bottom 5 of the East is just not great, or like the bottom 4 seeds are just not great at all. But yeah, man, that's the NBA as of right now. I'm sure trades are going to be happening here. I'm not sure when the trade deadline is for the NBA since it's all switched around this year.
It like way back, or I don't even know. We'll have to figure that out.
Well, I think it's around the All-Star game, and I think the All-Star game is going to be in March from what they're saying.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll be either before then or right after then will be the trade deadline.
Right.
But that should be exciting, you know. Maybe the Bulls grab a couple pieces. I think the Lakers are fine. They stacked up this offseason. I think
they're probably not going to make any moves.
I think
unless
you guys
it's like
right.
deep bench.
Unless LeBron's
moves.
just like, get this bull out of here. I don't want to see him anymore. We need to get this dude.
LeBron's going to win the MVP without even trying.
Yeah, possibly.
He's playing the least amount of minutes in his career.
Really?
At this. Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's close to it, or it's either it's 32.7 minutes per game. It's either the lowest or close to the lowest. And the Lakers, like, I'm just kind of start heading into my bias bubble here.
Okay.
But like the Lakers here, like we were talking 14-4, 10-0 on the road,
Mhm.
they are better than they were last year. It's wild. How are they better? I mean, obviously, like we were just saying with the offseason moves that they made, Harrell, Schroeder is picking up the point guard slack that LeBron, so he's just kind of coasting through the first half of
You
this
have
season.
you actually have the depth that you've been missing the past couple years on the
Mhm.
Lakers. Where
Right.
you don't have to rely on just LeBron and Anthony Davis putting up points and like getting you guys ahead,
Right.
That's
They're more
nice.
efficient when LeBron's on the court, and even though Anthony Davis he's putting up pretty low numbers as well, but it's not like we're just blowing people out type of shit. It's just nice. I love it. I love it. I hope
I'm
everybody stays
sure.
healthy. Please stay healthy because by the end of the season, this is another championship type squad.
It's looking like
They
it.
stay
And
healthy.
there's not going to be
They're the
many
favorites
teams
to
that
win it
can
all.
beat you guys, Like maybe
No,
the Nets,
there'll be teams
maybe
that
the
can do it,
Clippers.
but can you
Yeah.
do it four times out of seven? That's what's,
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens. But
Exactly.
I'm pretty excited for the direction that they're going right now. Everything seems to be going nice.
Yeah.
Talk about Kobe today, coincidentally, is the 1 year anniversary
Anniversary.
of his passing. And I've been like thinking about it off and on all day. And like, I keep like not thinking about it. Then I'll see something on Facebook and I'm just like, like
Yeah.
at this point, I've been remembering obviously all the like great stuff about Kobe's legacy and all the moments and everything. But
Yeah.
it's just definitely throughout the day, I'm just like, getting all
Yeah.
just emotional, just like,
Emotional
oh
thinking about
man,
Kobe.
just. But I'm glad the Lakers were able to win the chip for him. I hope they can win
Yeah.
the chip for him again. Like just it's tough. It's tough to deal with, but it's been a year already.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A year already.
Time's just flying by, man.
Right. But
Nothing.
that's as far as the Lakers go.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the NBA, that's all I have. We'll touch on hockey a little bit here. Just have a little bit of news. Just kind of give you the top like couple seeds of each division here. The Central Division got the Blue Jackets. Oh shit. Got the Panthers and the Lightning in the Central. In the East, we got the Capitals. We got the Bruins, and then the Flyers. The fucking Bruins. You beat us twice.
Hell yeah.
We went to a shootout in the first game. So I mean, it went to a shootout, so we still got a point because we went to overtime. So that kind of helped us a little bit. And then you guys just swamped us the second game. So we were on a 2-game streak, losing streak. Got another dub tonight, a big dub. So that was worked out. In the North, we got the Canadians with the number 1 seed in the division there. Got the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Winnipeg Jets. So all the Canadian teams there in the North. In the West, of course, the damn Golden Knights are the number 1 seed, and then you got the LA Kings, and then the Wild. But I mean, it's still early. A lot of stuff still going on. I mean, the number 1 team as of right now in the league is the Washington Capitals. They're 4-0. They're still undefeated as of right now.
Rolling along.
They do have they're not 4-0. It's so weird because they do have overtime losses that still count for points. So they're 4-0-3 technically. So they went to overtime 3 times. Okay. So I mean, they're still a tough team as of right now. But I mean, Boston, they're still doing well. Flyers are still there. We're just a little banged up. I do have a NHL stat here. Since today is Wayne Gretzky's birthday, the man. Most points in a single season in NHL history. This is the top 10 of the most points in a single season. Gretzky, Lemieux, Gretzky, Lemieux, Gretzky.
That's ridiculous.
He's got 8 of the top of the top 10 spots of the most points scored in a season is Wayne Gretzky. So I mean, happy birthday to him. He's a hockey legend, man. But that's all the news I have on that. I mean, it's still early in the season.
Yeah.
So really not too much going on there. And other news that was here today, no players on the 2021 Baseball Hall of Fame have reached 75%. So
Nope.
nobody's going to
First
be
time
inducted into the
since
Hall of Fame.
2013.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of baseball news. That
You get nothing.
the little bit of baseball news that we give you here every now and then. But yeah, nobody's getting in the Hall of Fame. Nobody.
Nope.
Which is odd. I was like,
It's a
what?
weird sport, man. It's a
What?
weird
What's
sport.
baseball? You weird.
You weird.
You weird. But that's all the news I have here. So I mean, we can hit the bias bubbles. You kind of hit on your Lakers a bit.
I just talk about. I don't have much to talk about with the Pats, because
Yeah.
there hasn't really been much going on. You know, it's just been off season right now. As far as speculation, it's like super early too, so nothing is really going on.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing mock drafts. But Matt Stafford, that's the one thing I did want to talk about. We did address that a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as my want on him being with the team is more or less like the needle is turning towards drafting a player instead of going after a free agent
Makes
quarterback.
sense.
I just think we should plan for the future at this point instead of trying to win now. Even though I would love to win now, that'd be awesome. I don't know if you can.
It would help you out financially too if you were ended up drafting someone and building with them. You didn't have to take on like a contract of any sort.
And if you can draft somebody decent enough and scoop a free agent like Galloway or somebody for Detroit instead of a Matt Stafford, like there's other pieces out there that I would rather have at this point.
Exactly.
But we'll see what happens. I just don't think it's realistic at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, Tom Brady Sr. out here talking smack on my Patriots.
What?
Already.
Tom Brady Sr.
Already. Tom Brady Sr., who's been loving the Patriots, wearing old gear for 20 years, is talking smack on Bill Belichick.
What happened?
Talking about Bill Belichick's seats getting hot. That's what he said. I'm just like, get out of here. Get out of here, old man. You don't know
Brady
what you're
needs
talking
to
about.
tell Tom Brady Sr. shut the hell up.
Out here talking to the media. I don't know who let this man out here talking to the media, but he's talking about Bill Belichick's seat getting hot, and I just don't want to hear it. I don't got time for it. Okay, I did want to address though, so it was just blasphemy.
Tom Brady should tell Tom Brady Sr. to change his name because there's only one Tom Brady. That matter.
Also, one little small thing I had was like a bunch of players reacted to Tom Brady going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like Gilmore, McCourty, Chung, Lawrence Guy, I think Julian Edelman, Shaq Mason, a bunch of them like tweeted goat pictures, like goat Wikipedia page, like just like all this stuff like in support of Tom Brady. I was like, that's pretty cool, you know. So like seeing that too made me even more just like I gotta root for Tom Brady in this Super Bowl, man. Like, why would I not root for Tom? I know he left. I don't care. Like, you won us 6 Super Bowls. Gronk too. Even you, Gronk. Go win another one.
He's like, we're going to the AFC Championship.
I know this dude. He's like,
And
no,
like, man, we're in the NFC.
we're in the NFC. Like,
Oh yeah, yo soy fiesta.
That's pretty much all I have from a bias bubble, though.
Okay. Mine. I mean, the Flyers were on their skid. They just turned it around tonight. They had a nice 5-3 win. So I mean, hopefully they can build off of that, get some dubs.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls, they just coming off of a win. They just look. I wasn't as mad about the Celtics loss because it was somewhat close, but that Lakers loss really wasn't great. The bench has some depth, but there's some just like the players that should be the stars that are starting, some are just so spotty. I mean, Levine, he's on every night. Kobe White, it's his second year. He needs to just work on shooting and a little bit of defense more.
A lot of developing players.
Yeah, exactly. It's more so on defense, man. Their defense and their turnovers are just so bad as of right now. I mean, they're such a young team, though. They have
right.
to build.
I feel like they'll get that figured out. You got a good coach out there too.
Exactly,
right now.
It's a new coach and a new front office. This team could look entirely different next year. You know, Who knows? Like once they actually are able to start building how they want to build, who knows? So I mean, there really isn't much to talk about. I haven't heard any rumors about trades or anything about the Bulls.
Me neither about Lakers.
On the other hand, the Eagles. Every single week, there's some fucking news. Not even playing a game. Always some news about the Eagles. But I'm actually excited about the Eagles right now because we got a new coaching staff.
You got a bright future. You're
We
just
got
like,
a
okay, let's see
bright,
what happens.
bright future. I'm excited to see what happens. Um, Let me find all some stats here. Nick Sirianni is our new head coach. He spent 3 seasons as Chiefs assistant coach, 5 seasons with the Chargers, and the past 3 with the Colts. He's only 39 years old, but he does have a lot of experience making plays and making game plans. He's very wide receiver friendly. He's worked with QBs and wide receivers. He used to be a wide receiver. And the offensive coordinator that they scooped from the Chargers is actually a very run-based offensive coordinator. So we got like a mix of a wide receiver and
Both
run game
perspectives on that.
specialist. Yeah, exactly. So maybe we can actually get a nice game plan going forward with the
Right.
Eagles, you know.
Get on the same page about things.
Exactly. You know, so I'm gonna look at it with an optimistic side here. I think I'm excited to see what they're gonna do here. I mean, who knows who they're gonna pick up, who they're gonna let go here this offseason. That's gonna be crazy. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of drops.
Right.
But I mean, I'm excited for the future of the Eagles franchise because I mean, everybody expected the Nick Sirianni hire to be. They hired him because he was going to do whatever they told him, pretty much like Howie, like he was going to be a yes man. But I mean, from what it looks is like everybody that's been hired on his staff looks like his personal picks that he's worked with. So I mean, it looks like he's actually making choices with what he wants to do and going forward.
Being his yes man.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it looks like he actually has some say for what he's going to do.
Right.
So I mean,
It'll have his imprint on the
exactly,
on the team.
Exactly, and that's all that matters. I just wanted to know that Howie Roseman wasn't fucking running the show.
Yeah.
That's what I was really worried about. But apparently, Sirianni has already talked with Wentz. He's already reached out with him and talked to him. About what and how it went, that I don't know.
Yeah.
But
he's like, why you call me? I don't work for you no more.
But even though Carson Wentz, what was I gonna say? Oh, he was on that list of like QBs whose futures were in doubt. I don't see him going anywhere. All the rumors were about him going to Colts to be with Frank Reich. I think they brought the fucking Colts to Philadelphia for him, and I guarantee you, Frank Reich has already talked to Sirianni. Like, hey, this is what Carson does. This is what he likes to do.
Already talked to Wentz too.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm sure he has some insight on what makes Wentz tick and how he can actually plan an offense to make him better.
Right.
So I mean, I think they kind of brought him in as to fix Wentz at this point. I think they brought him in to fix not just Wentz but the offense in general.
Yeah.
We'll
see how it goes, man. I hope it goes well.
I really hope it does too. I hope he's like, because he's such a young coach. I hope he's our next like Sean McVay or like LaFleur or like Shanahan. You know, like all these dudes. I hope he's like our next like. We talked about a couple weeks ago about like the young coaches with that know the new football that's going on, like that's progressing.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what we can do with that. You know,
we'll get ours
and
eventually.
See how they build. Maybe scoop that Alabama receiver in the draft. Maybe put him in the mix.
What you got, 6th?
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna go that far, but maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. That's not too out of the question.
It's not, but I mean, hopefully.
Wild.
I hope, man.
You cannot pass on that, man. If he's
there, Howie, bro, they gonna be beating down Howie's door if he passes on him, bro. I swear.
Let me in.
You son of a bitch! We're running you out of town. But if he's there, bro, they need to take him because that would help Wentz immensely. Get J.R. Sega-Whiteside out of here. Get Alshon out of here. Get Deshaun out of here. Got Goddard. He's dope. I don't know about Ertz. He's probably going to be leaving. We probably trade Ertz. Bye-bye, Ertz.
Welcome to New England.
See ya.
See ya.
But I mean, that's a story for another time. We'll get to that down the road whenever,
whenever we
trades
cross that
start
bridge.
happening. Exactly. That's all I have. I just wanted to kind of touch base on the Nick Sirianni hire and some of the other coaching staff. We still haven't had a press conference with him, so I'm guessing they're figuring out more logistics.
Yeah,
But
probably figuring out protocols and everything as far as
either that
goes.
or just some other coaches
Have
that they're
any
hiring.
of them? Oh yeah, I guess the
Yeah.
one dude, the PC
Dan
Pencil
Campbell
did.
talking about they're going to bite people's kneecaps off. It's terrible.
Bite
And I guess
kneecaps.
Matt Stafford's like, I ain't about that. I believe.
Yo,
I ain't about that.
yo,
I'm
get me
like,
out of here.
listen, get me out of here.
Get me out of here. But yeah,
Yeah, I think the dude for the Jets had his. The dude on the Chargers had his.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure his is going to be in the next couple of days, though. I'm
Yeah.
guessing maybe they're just filling out who the rest of the coaching staff is going to be. But that's all I have. So, I mean, there's only one thing left to do in the podcast, as everybody knows.
Oh,
The crazy sports stat fact of the podcast.
What you got? You say you got Tom Brady stats.
I got a
for us,
Tom Brady stat since he's going to the damn Super Bowl like 10 out of 20
I
years.
feel like it's
Crazy.
Groundhog Day.
It is.
Tom Brady going to Super Bowl every in February.
This is
We'll see
wild.
Tom
I
Brady.
saved it. I saw it and I was like, I gotta save this one. If you took away all of the playoff touchdown passes that Tom Brady has to Randy Moss, Gronkowski, Branch, Edelman, Welker, Hogan, and Amendola, he would still have the most playoff touchdown passes in history.
Did you include Edelman in there? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, Edelman. It was here. I'll go over it again. If you take away all the touchdown passes to Randy Moss, Rob Gronkowski, Branch, Edelman, Welker, Hogan, and Amendola, he would still have the most playoff touchdown passes in history. Brady has
wild
80 of them. Removing all those guys puts him at 46. Rodgers and Montana are at second with 45.
And he's gonna get different touchdowns now, because he's gonna have like he's been getting more all postseason so far.
From what you were saying, back to what you were saying, he's just putting himself even farther ahead of everybody else. He's building on those crazy stats. But yeah,
I'm
man,
glad it's happening in our lifetime. We get to see this shit.
That's another wild sports stat, and it's pretty relevant to what's going on. So
right.
I'm glad we saved
it. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah. That's one I did not know about Brady.
Yeah, I just saw that today, and I'm gotta save that for this show. But yeah, man, that's all. That's pretty much all the news. We're gonna have our big Super Bowl extravaganza episode next week.
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's
technically
gonna be a big chunk of it.
Technically, like 2 episodes, because we're gonna have the episode talk about the Super Bowl, the breakdown, other NBA news and stuff, and then we'll have
Sunday.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday live event. Make sure you tune in that one. I'm sure we'll be talking about mostly the game, but I'm sure we'll be talking about other stuff in between, like commercials and everything else. We'll be talking about random stuff. I'm sure it'll be a 4 or 5 hour long podcast. We're gonna be. I'm sure we'll go talk about something else at some point.
Right.
But it should be a good time, man. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow on Twitter at Squad Pod Sports. We up to like 250 followers on there now, bro.
Hell yeah.
Thank you to everybody following.
All the people following, please subscribe to the YouTube.
Exactly. We can't stress that enough. Make sure to subscribe and like some videos on YouTube, man. That definitely helps us out.
It helps our videos get noticed by more people, and that's going to be great for everybody,
Absolutely. And I mean, it's not sports related, but we're going to be putting some new videos out here, some reviews about like possible movies, music, and all that. We'll be putting them out here soon because I finally got a new computer here. It's going to get soon. So I'll be able to start putting some work in editing videos and doing some of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Make sure to check out all of our shows, man. Squad Nights on Mondays, Squad Pod Sports on Thursdays, and then Squad Pod Podcasts on Fridays. And we'll see you next week for a Super Bowl episode.
Peace out.
Peace, everybody.
Squad.